Susan Lyne is perhaps best known for her role as CEO of Martha Stewart. Now she's CEO of the Gilt Group, an online luxury retailer. I asked her to talk about some of the most important leadership lessons she's learned over the course of her career.
One of the things that I instituted when I came to the company was office hours. It's hugely useful. You know, it's usually 2 hours a week where anyone can book a half hour with me. Anyone in the entire company. Sometimes they come, you know, just because they want FaceTime with me, but usually it's because they've got something on their minds that is concerning them. And it's my early warning system for anything that could grow into a problem.
And do you find that people come into your office and say, Susan, I want to talk to you about X, and here it is, this is my concern? Is it an uncomfortable process at all? Or?
Never. You know, usually it takes, you know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes for them to get to the real point. And sometimes they don't even know what I'm going to find interesting. So it's frequently one line that I will hear that drives the conversation in a different direction. Very, very valuable.
You went from being CEO of Martha Stewart to now at the Gilt Group. Talk about that transition and how you manage at the Gilt Group and maybe things that you're doing new or differently.
Well, you know, I had a very large corner office when I was at Martha Stewart. When I came to Gilt, it was really clear that nobody had offices. And I hadn't been in a newsroom set up, just cubicles, in God knows how long. And I will say the first week that I was there, you know, sitting at my workstation, surrounded by people, I thought, oh my God, I'm not sure I can do this. But very quickly, I thought, this is so great. I am very accessible. I would never have an office again.
You had mentioned to me that Gilt Group is growing very quickly. You're doing a lot of hiring. Talk about how you hire.
Being able to recruit is critically important. And being able to recruit the right people, you know, it's an art, I think. And I have my failure rate like everybody else, but what I try to do is to make sure that I don't let someone run away with the interview and essentially just sell me. And there are questions that are always useful to kind of dig in and see whether this is a person who would fit in.
You mentioned fitting in. What are the qualities you're looking for, and what are some of the key phrases that might twig your ear?
Yeah. In our company, and I think any company, being able to work effectively as part of a team is critically important. So, you know, anybody who says I all the time instead of we, and anybody who is uncomfortable talking about their failures or things they think they could have done better.
What qualities are you looking for more now than you used to in hires?
You know, I used to look for the most talented person, the person who was a superstar, and I still obviously look for really talented people, but they have got to be able to work within a company, and it's key to your success at a company to be able to get people who are not direct reports to work with you, give you time, and to want you to succeed. And so people who have strong peer relationships are more and more important to me.
And what is your advice for business school deans? If you had an auditorium full of them, you were at the lectern, what would you suggest they teach more of or less of in their curriculum?
You know, I think this idea of managing across companies instead of just managing down and managing up is critically important. I think there's not enough real attention paid to peer relationships and how to build them. And there's no question that your success as you are rising within a company will depend on how often and how well you are able to access the resources that are not directly under your control.